Today we're taking a look at another 6-scale figure from one of my favorite franchises. This is Hot Toys Doc Brown from Back to the Future 3.
Rose, where we're going, we don't need Rose.
What's up everybody, welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So yeah, we're taking a look at the Hot Toys 6-scale Doc Brown from Back to the Future 3. Now Back to the Future is absolutely one of my all-time favorite franchises. And when I saw this version of Doc Brown come out, I needed to pick this up. So now unfortunately I did wait a little bit to pick this figure up, and I hope I did not miss out on getting Marty. Marty is now on waitlist over at Sideshow, and a lot of the times they do convert over to available, but there is a local store not too far from me that does have it. It's just a little bit more money, but you think about what you're going to spend on shipping costs and stuff like that. I could just take a trip over there and probably buy it, as long as they still have it in stock. Now I picked up Doc Brown first because Doc Brown was just a badass in this scene. He has this super custom homemade rifle, this long trench coat, and he was just the Clint Eastwood of this movie. Now this shot right here is the exact shot I'm going to be replicating for a pose when I display this figure. While we dig everything out of this box, please drop down, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos for 6-scale figures and lightsabers. I have a ton of stuff coming through to review. Now the first thing we see is this flap underneath with the DeLorean on it, and you can immediately see a bunch of the accessories that are right on top. Right under that we'll see his trench coat and a bunch of other accessories as well. Now this figure is not short of accessories. I love everything that comes with this figure. Now since this took place in the Wild West, let's kick off some Wild West piano music. This is a simple stand, but I love the matte image back there and the glossy logo right on the front there. This really showcases Back to the Future 3, and we have the plaque right up front that says Dr. Emmett Brown. Digging into the accessories, we do get the white scarf and that greenish bow tie, so you can kind of have options depending on what look you want to go for. Now we do have two sets of hands, relaxed ones that he's wearing now, and these two gun hands. So we got the gun trigger there and the other one to hold the end of the rifle. We also get his pocket watch, which is awesomely detailed. Then we also get that mini DeLorean that in the movie was made out of wood, if you remember, but this is just made out of plastic. Now this was a pretty cool touch that he gave us. This was the walkie-talkies that Marty and Doc were talking back and forth with when they were on the train, if you remember that scene. This was a really cool accessory to include in this figure. I don't think I'll use it, but it was really cool to have. Then we have the gun holster here, which I believe is just made out of pleather. It also includes all the rounds of bullets on it, so this is really cool. Then we have the pistol that goes into it, which is very clean. There doesn't seem to be any weathering or anything on it. And then we have his trench coat here, which does have wires around the edge there to pose it, but it doesn't have any weathering on it. That I really wish it had. Now you can see from this screen still that the bottom of the trench coat does have a lot of dirt, and you would think of that because this is the Wild West, so I would think that the clothing would have a lot of weathering around the boots and the bottom of that trench coat. Now, my favorite accessory, this is what really brings this figure to life for me. This is that homemade custom rifle he made with that big scope on top. This thing is one of the best rifles I've ever seen. Now it is made all of plastic, there's no wood parts or, metal or anything, but they did this fantastic. There's also no weathering on this rifle either, so I'll have to see if I can grab some screenshots and figure out if I need to add a little bit of weathering here and there. Now let's talk about this head sculpt, because I think this is significantly better than the previous version that I reviewed of Doc Brown, which is from Back to the Future 1. They had to age him up in that movie, and this head sculpt did not reflect that. Now it may have looked more like Doc Brown from 1955, but it sure did not look like Doc Brown from 1985. I'll put a link to that unboxing as well at the end of this video if you want to check that out. Now I think this head sculpt by far represents Doc Brown much better in that specific film than what the last one did, and I am so happy with this one. I mean, I see Christopher Lloyd there. It might not be perfect, but this represents it so well. Now on the top of his hat we do have the feather, but the hat itself does not come off. It is permanently on there. It's simply that situation that the hair is sculpted, so if you wanted one without the hat, they would have had to give you a completely different head sculpt. Now they did give us two looks to go with. We have this kind of plaid blazer that you should be familiar with because it was in that famous clock photo. Now they did a great job picking all the fabrics and doing all the tailoring on this figure. It's top notch. Now his shoes are not pleather, they are sculpted, which I do prefer. They are on a ball joint, so you have a lot of articulation. And like the rest of the figure, I'm not really seeing any kind of dust or weathering on the boots. All right, so here's Doc Brown look 1, and we're gonna swap over into the other look. Now we have to unhook the vest because this next look does have it more relaxed. Let's thread in and install the pocket watch. I'm gonna grab my ginormous tweezers over here because I'm just gonna slip the other end into the top pocket. All right, there we go. We got a couple of loops. There should be a loop coming out from here, and that goes into the top pocket there. So I did have to pull off the head to pop on the scarf, but this looks great. I really love that the trench coat has these wires in it because you get to add some movement to the figure without having to do anything too crazy. All right, I got the gun holster installed. It looks absolutely fantastic. This figure is coming together so well. And that's it. I've got the gun installed, and this is how I'm going to display my Doc Brown from Back to the Future 3 6-scale figure from Hot Toys. If you're interested in this, I'll put a link down below in the description over at Sideshow, but I know during the filming of this video, they were almost out of stock. Let me know what you think of this figure down in the comments, and while you're down there, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming figure reviews and lightsabers. I will see you all on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.